to the Reds Trends, your ultimate home for everything Liverpool FC. Stay ahead of the game with the latest breaking transfer news, tactical analysis, match reactions and daily updates straight from Anfield. Whether it's Premier League title battles or Champions League nights, we bring you all the action and insights you need as a true fan. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a beat. Up the Reds, YNWA, Liverpool stunning, Bradley Barcola transfer twist, the deadline day chase that could shake English football. Liverpool have done it again. Just when supporters thought the summer transfer window was beginning to settle down, a huge name has suddenly appeared at the centre of a transfer story that could explode across European football. The name is Bradley Barcola. The Paris Saint-Germain winger has become one of the most exciting young attackers in Europe, and Liverpool are now being linked with a sensational move to bring him to Anfield before the summer transfer window closes. This is not the kind of transfer story that quietly disappears after a few days. It is the kind of story that can change in a matter of hours. Liverpool know exactly what Barcola would bring. Speed, directness, creativity, fearlessness, the ability to receive the ball wide, attack a defender and suddenly turn an ordinary possession into a goal-scoring opportunity. And that is precisely why the possibility of Liverpool making a serious move has sent supporters into overdrive. The Reds are looking at an attacker who could transform the dynamics of their forward line. Barcola is not simply another winger. He is the type of player who can become a headline maker. He can start from the left, drift inside, combine with midfielders, attack space behind defenders and create chaos whenever he gets one-on-one against a fullback. Liverpool have spent years building an attacking identity around intensity and speed. Barcola fits that philosophy perfectly. The question now is whether Liverpool can turn the growing interest into an agreement before the window slams shut. And this is where the story becomes dramatic, because the closer the transfer window gets to its final hours, the greater the pressure becomes. There is no luxury of waiting forever. There is no guarantee that another opportunity will appear. If Liverpool genuinely want Barcola, they may have to make their intentions unmistakably clear. The first major obstacle is obvious. Paris Saint-Germain would have little reason to make life easy for Liverpool. Barcola is young, talented and increasingly important. PSG know they possess an extremely valuable asset. That means Liverpool would potentially have to consider a major financial commitment to convince the French club to even seriously entertain negotiations. But Liverpool are not strangers to ambitious moves. When the club identifies a player who fits the long-term vision, the conversation can quickly become serious. And Barcola fits the profile. Young enough to develop, good enough to contribute immediately, explosive enough to change matches, and versatile enough to give Liverpool another weapon across the front line. Imagine the possibilities. Liverpool win the ball in midfield. One pass breaks the first line. Barcola receives possession near the touchline. A defender steps forward. Barcola accelerates, one touch, two touches. Suddenly, the defender is running toward his own goal. The crowd rises. Barcola cuts inside. A striker attacks the 6-yard box. Another Liverpool attacker arrives at the far post. One final pass, one finish. That is the kind of football Liverpool supporters dream about. And that is why the Barcola possibility is so exciting. He would not necessarily need to become the main man immediately. Liverpool could use him as another devastating attacking option. A player capable of changing the rhythm of a match. A player who can come off the bench and stretch tired defenders. A player who can start important games and force opponents to defend differently. And perhaps most importantly, a player who still has enormous room to grow. Liverpool would not simply be buying what Barcola is today. They would be investing in what he could become over the next 5 or 6 years. That makes the potential deal even more fascinating. But behind the excitement is a major question. Would PSG actually sell? That is where Liverpool's negotiating skills would be tested. PSG have invested heavily in their squad and have ambitions of competing for every major trophy. Selling a young attacker with Barcola's potential would require a compelling reason. Liverpool, therefore, may need to present an offer that is difficult to ignore. And if negotiations begin, the pressure could become enormous. Every hour would matter. Every meeting would matter. Every phone call could potentially change the direction of the transfer. This is exactly the type of situation where the final days of the transfer window become unpredictable. 1 minute, everything appears impossible. The next minute, a breakthrough arrives. Then suddenly the player is discussing personal terms. Then the medical becomes the next obstacle. Then supporters start refreshing their phones every few seconds, waiting for confirmation. That is the madness of deadline football, and Liverpool supporters know it better than most. For Barcola, a move to Anfield would represent a completely different challenge. He would be stepping into one of the most demanding environments in European football. The expectations would be enormous. Every touch would be analysed. Every missed chance would be discussed. Every spectacular performance would turn him into an overnight hero. But that pressure could also accelerate his development. Liverpool have a long history of giving attacking players an environment in which they can become major stars. Barcola would arrive with enormous expectations, but he would also arrive with an opportunity to establish himself in the Premier League, an opportunity to compete for major trophies, an opportunity to become one of the faces of Liverpool's next generation. And that is perhaps the most exciting part of the entire story. Liverpool are not simply looking for a short-term solution. The club wants to remain competitive at the highest level for years to come. That means recruitment decisions made today could shape the team of tomorrow. Barcola could potentially become part of that future. But there is another factor that could make this transfer especially explosive. Competition. Liverpool are unlikely to be the only major European club monitoring a player of Barcola's profile. The longer uncertainty continues, the more dangerous the situation becomes. If Liverpool hesitate, another club could enter. If PSG decide they are willing to negotiate, the race could become chaotic. And once multiple clubs become involved, the price can rise dramatically. That is why Liverpool would need to act decisively if they truly believe Barcola is their man. No unnecessary delays, no endless uncertainty, no waiting until the final few minutes unless they are prepared to gamble everything. The club would need to communicate its intentions clearly. And if a serious proposal reaches PSG, the football world could suddenly have a completely different transfer saga on its hands. For Liverpool fans, the dream is easy to understand. They want a winger capable of producing those moments that make supporters jump out of their seats. They want pace, they want creativity, they want unpredictability, they want a player who can take responsibility when a match becomes difficult. Barcola offers many of those qualities. His acceleration makes him dangerous in transition. His ability to attack defenders gives his team another way to break down deep defensive blocks, and his movement means defenders cannot simply focus on the striker. That tactical flexibility could be extremely valuable. Liverpool could use him in different attacking structures. He could remain wide. He could move inside. He could switch sides. He could attack the space behind a high defensive line. He could even become the player who changes the game when Liverpool needs something completely different. That versatility is priceless at the highest level. And Liverpool's interest, if it becomes a concrete move, would send a powerful message. The Reds would be saying that they are not satisfied with simply maintaining the status quo. They want to keep improving. They want more quality, more competition, more attacking firepower, more options, and more players capable of deciding matches. But there is one thing supporters must remember. A transfer story is not a completed transfer. Until contracts are signed, medical examinations are completed, and official confirmation arrives, nothing should be treated as guaranteed. The phrase set to sign can generate enormous excitement, but football transfers can collapse at any stage. A club can agree a fee and then fail to agree personal terms. A player can change his mind. A medical can create complications. A selling club can suddenly demand more money. Another club can enter the race, or negotiations can simply run out of time. That is why this story should be viewed as a dramatic transfer possibility rather than an officially completed deal. But if Liverpool really are prepared to push for Barcola before the window closes, the final days could become extraordinary. Imagine the scenes at Anfield, supporters waiting for the latest update, phones lighting up, transfer journalists monitoring every development, PSG officials discussing the proposal, Liverpool representatives working behind the scenes, and Barcola waiting to discover where the next chapter of his career will be written.